All right, now with the information we learned in Unit 64 about SOHCAHTOA, we are now able to solve any right triangle. And when I say solve a triangle, what that means is to find all missing sides and all missing angles. So let's focus on our first one. It says a right triangle can be solved completely, meaning all values for all sides and angles, if two sides are known. So here we're given two sides. So if we want to solve this triangle, the first thing we're going to do is we want to pick one of the angles. So I'm going to say I'm going to pick this angle up here. I'm going to call that x. Well, if I want to find x, I know that I have opposite and I have adjacent. Well, which relationship tells me that I can use opposite and adjacent? If you take a look, you see it's tangent. So I can do the tangent of x is equal to 12 over 5. From there, you want to say that x equals the inverse tangent of 12 over 5. The inverse tangent is a button in the calculator. So you would go graphing calculator, or you'd go on Google and write inverse tangent. Okay, and you're going to do, second tangent here, 12 divided by 5, gives me an answer of 67.3. We'll say 67.3 degrees. There's a little bit of rounding there. So we know that this is 67.3 degrees. From there, the rest of the problem, we don't necessarily need trig, okay? We know that a triangle adds up to 180 degrees. So far we have 90 degrees and 67.3 degrees for a total of how many? For a total of 157.3 degrees. Well, if we want to find the missing side, which I'm going to put in red, all we'd have to do is do 180 degrees minus the 157.3 to get an answer of 22.7 degrees. So we can say that this is 22.7 degrees. Now, there's one more part we have to find. We need to find the hypotenuse, which we're going to call h. Remember the Pythagorean theorem. We know that h squared is equal to 5 squared plus 12 squared. So h squared equals 25 plus 144. So h squared is 169, meaning that h is the square root of 169, which is 13. So we just solved that entire triangle. Now, let's take a look at what we do if we have an acute angle and a side. So here in the red triangle, we have 22.6 and we have a side of 5. So now you have a little bit of choice. Do you want to solve for the hypotenuse first, or do you want to solve for the side adjacent? It doesn't necessarily matter. I'm going to go for the hypotenuse. So what do I have? I have opposite and I have hypotenuse. That is sine. So I know that the sine of 22.6 degrees is equal to 5 over h, which means that h will equal 5 over the sine of 22.6. Let's make sure I did that right. I did. So again, in your calculator, you're going to do 5 divided by the sine of 22.6. And what do you get? You get h is equal to 13. Okay, we should know that from the other problem, but still. Now, how do we find this missing angle up here? Same concept. You're going to add 22.6 and the 90 degrees. When you do that, you get what? To 112.6. So you do 180 minus that, and you will get your 67.3 degrees. For the last side, we already have it down here. H squared equals 5 squared plus 12 squared to find our missing side of 12.